Welcome to the Jon Krull Show. I'm your host, Jason Zaleski, joined by Stevens Point Panthers boys basketball coach Jon Krull. Coach, a successful week last week, a pair of road trips and a pair of wins coming back to Stevens Point. Before we dive into each game in particular, just going to wrap up the week and the two games that you had last week for us.
Yeah, I thought it was an important week for us. We're running low on regular season weeks here, so with a non-conference and then a conference game both on the road, it was a good test for us to see, can we go on the road 2 times in a week still and play well? And for the most part, I thought we did. Our defense, I thought, was really solid, and our offense for the most part was pretty good. We were able to jump out to some early leads, but overall, I thought we had a good week.
Yeah, and I think that's good practice for you and the guys. A sectional week is our road games. Those are at neutral sites, so good practice for that. Let's start at Rhinelander, a team with a winning record. You come away with a 15-point win. What was working for you in Rhinelander?
Yeah, I thought our physical defense kind of got them out of rhythm, and we were able to score out of our defense in multiple areas, off of rebounds, steals. And it kind of caught us into a little rhythm on the offensive end. If you're able to score out of your defense at times, can kind of jumpstart your offense. So, we really applied a lot of pressure on their guards, trapped in some areas. I like that we were a bigger team, and we, held into a lot of ones and dones and contested shots. And then offensively, we were able to get it inside and score in the paint. Which, if we're taking high percentage shots in the paint, your offense is gonna be able to score some points.
On Tuesday, on your way to Rhinelander, you drove past Merrill. You go to Merrill on Thursday, as you said, a conference game, a game you had to have because those rascals in Marshfield are trying to run away with the conference right now. So you had to have that one, and you did. You actually had a pretty big win. What do you attribute the kind of that big margin to on Thursday night?
Yeah, I think it started on our defensive end. We gave up 31 points, I think it was. And, offensively, I don't think we played bad. We missed a lot of shots. We didn't shoot overly well, but I thought we took great shots. They packed in a 2-3 zone, and, I thought we didn't settle on a lot of shots. We had open shots with guys able to score in those positions. What I did like is when we weren't shooting it well, we found some other ways to score out of our defense helped. And then also, on the grind on the offensive half court end of not, maybe passing up some early shots and seeing if we can get something at the rim, get to the foul line. And for the most part, we did on that offensive end.
So a successful week. The conference win at Merrill. There is still math available that gets you to a conference championship. You'll play Marshfield on Tuesday. We'll come back in just a minute, see if we can help Coach figure out the math to reach a conference title here in 2024 right after this.
An SCS apartment or home is where you want to live, work, and play all throughout central Wisconsin. Look to SC Swiderski to make you feel right at home. The Stevens Point Brewery is a proud sponsor of local high school athletics. Experience the many refreshing flavors of Point Gourmet sodas. Handcrafted in small batches, each flavor is perfected for your enjoyment. From tasty black cherry cream to the world-famous Point root beer, every bottle is in the house. Point Heating and Cooling in Stevens Point and Plover, with more than 100 years of making your home and business comfortable. Call Point Heating and Cooling or visit pointheating.com. Turn your house into a home and shop home furniture. Home Furniture on Post Road in Plover. When it comes to customized apparel or your local sports team apparel, turn to Maida in Stevens Point. From corporate outings to outfitting your club or sports team, Maida has all you could need.
Welcome back to the Jon Krull Show as we rejoin Stevens Point Panthers head basketball coach Jon Krull. Tuesday at Marshfield. It's such a tight game at your place. Both teams with opportunities in that game. Marshfield, in the end, came away with it. What's got to go differently in Marshfield on Tuesday night?
Yeah, you're right. It was an outstanding game. An awesome game to be part of. It definitely was a low scoring. I think both teams are more in the 50s and 60s, throughout the season. when you get into these grinder of games, every possession, you don't have as many. So we really have to be more consistent on both ends. I thought we started that game really, really well, and then we had some breakdowns on the defensive end, and they have a lot of players that can, if you break down, they take advantage of it, and they did. And it's going to be a 36-minute game. It's going to be, if somebody gets a lead, we had a little bit of a lead. They came back and forth. We're going to have to be sound on the defensive end and really understand what we're trying to do. And offensively, we gotta move the ball, and we gotta hunt outstanding shots, because, like I said, there isn't as many possessions in this type of game. And like it has many times in our last however many years, it's going to come down to the end, and those 2 or 3 plays that can change the game, we got to make sure we're ready for it.
51-47 was the final score 2 weeks ago. Had ball in hand with 15 seconds, a chance to tie. I mean, that's how close that game was, and as you've said, how close that they have been over the years. Marshfield went on to win after that game at Wausau East. That has them now 2 games ahead of both UN East in the conference standings, with just a couple of games to go. Obviously, a win on Tuesday is what you can control. And then after that, you would need Marshfield to slip against Wausau Western Merrill. Are you able to give any advice to the folks over at Western Merrill on how to beat Marshfield?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. That's what the math is, and right now we have to concentrate on what we can control, right? And that's tomorrow's game. And I wouldn't say it's a must win, but if we want a shot and keep ourselves alive in the conference picture, we got to come away with a win. What I like about this game is where it's located in our schedule. We're a couple weeks away from the playoffs. It's going to be a playoff atmosphere, playoff type game where every possession counts. And right now, with us both having the same record, we're fighting for seeding, right? That's the next schedule. That's our next season is the playoffs. So a lot goes into this game, conference wise and seeding wise, but we got to attack it like we always have, one game at a time, and we got to make sure that we're prepared and ready to go. They're going to play well. They're at home. They have been playing well. And it's going to be a great one.
And then you'll move on to Wisconsin Rapids on Friday after. That's a team that you beat by 19 points a few weeks ago. Give us just a 10-second scouting report on Wisconsin Rapids Lincoln.
Yeah, they can score some points. They got a lot of guys that can shoot the 3, and if you allow them to catch rhythm, it seems like if one guy hits 1 or 2, everybody kind of feels like they can also hit a couple. So we're definitely going to have to guard the 3-point line out there. I think we're a little bit bigger, but we're going to have to keep their shooters in check for sure.
We'll talk to Coach about the season as a whole when we return on the Jon Krull Show right after this.
Ag Country Farm Credit Services is a farmer-owned co-op offering a wide array of custom financing and financial services. Contact Ag Country in Stevens Point, 715-344-1000. Andy Hoff and Cindy LaChapelle of Hoff Favor Real Estate Group are your local Stevens Point realtors. That's Andy Hoff and Cindy LaChapelle of Hoff Favor Real Estate. Nickel Lay Bank offers personal banking at its best. Nickel Lay Bank of Stevens Point, 715-254-3400 and nickellaybank.com. For your next catering, birthday party, family night out, or just lunch on the move, make it a delicious, cheesy, Chicago-style deep dish slice from the one and the only Rocky Rococo's in Stevens Point.
Put the finishing touches on today's Jon Krull Show. Coach, we talked about it a little bit, just a couple games left, and then we're into the postseason. Just think back on, that first day of practice. Everybody waits all fall, for the fall sports to end and the countdown for basketball practice, and then poof, here we are. Even if you make it all the way through, there's a month left, and that's it. Just talk about the memories so far on the season with you and the boys.
Yeah, it's been a fun year. I got a great group of guys that they compete and they want to be coached really, really hard. And when you have that combination, it doesn't seem as long of a season. And like you said, it's flowing by. coming into the season, we thought we had, a lot of pieces that we could be very successful, but we had a lot of new pieces, right? So we introduced 4 new players into our lineup that weren't there from the previous year. On Baraka coming back from injury, Carter coming in, Nick Fox sat out a year in him, and then Amon coming back out for basketball. So we didn't know how the process was going to go. How fast was it? When you add that many new players to your rotation, sometimes it takes a little while. We came out of the gates really strong. I thought we concentrated on that defensive end from the beginning, and they bought into that end, and our offense, grew as time went on and hit a couple bumps in the road, and they responded really, really well. So I'm excited about this group. I'm so proud of what they've done so far this year, and I tell them every day, we don't know what this path is going to be on day one, and we still don't know what the path is going to lead to on a day like today in the season. So I'm excited about it. I know they are. They're extremely hungry, and they work every single day, and it's been fun coaching them.
Coach, it's been fun watching. We've had a great time watching your kids play this year. We're all going to go to the gym on Tuesday in Marshfield and watch. I know you mentioned that earlier, but get there early. It's a big gym, but still be a lot of people there. Conference championship implications are on the line. It'll be a full house Tuesday. Coach, best of luck. We'll see you there.
Thank you. We'll see you there.